Hey guys, can you hear me? So Shah Imran says yes, you can hear me, right? No one else who can hear me? Okay, fine. Is there a need to see me? Hello?
IR tak nampak IR.
Huh?
Sir tak nampak.
Kenapa tak nampak? So what am I supposed to do? Malam dia bagi all the camera semua, so sekarang dia tak ada. Ya Allah.
Nampak kejap-kejap je.
Okay. Itulah, so I think I cannot do much about it lah. So ni siapa ni? Ainin Sophia kata dia boleh nampak. Yes, dia kata. The laptop uses apa tu? Internet just talking to Shakila semalam, bukan Shasha. Shasha pun dengar suara saya, dia macam terputus-putus. So hari ni nampak macam gelap dia kat sedang ni.
Tapi hari ni suara
tak dapat nak buat apalah.
Tapi hari ni suara lagi clear dari semalam.
Tapi you can hear my voice tak?
Yes, boleh dengar.
Suara hari ni okey?
Okey, hari ni lagi okey daripada semalam.
Okey, so hari ni suara okey, tapi muka tak okey. Yelah, tapi muka tak okey.
Muka tak okey.
Okay, so nak buat macam mana? Tak reti dah nak buat merah. We go ahead, right?
Boleh.
dia punya chat ni dia hilang di tempat lain dah. Oh okey. Tapi siapa Nur Emira Syahira kata so Muhammad Fazli pun kata I can hear. Fazli kata boleh dengar betul. Dia ikut tempat kot dia mana apa tu dia punya ni. So kalau kalau whatever you tak tahu ke apa ke yang saya tunjuk gambar, kalau saya tunjuk right, you adjust, you discuss with your friends lah juga kan, tanya kata apa kawan ke, you ask your friends what blah 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 kan, but not to Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Who is that? Siapa tu? Alright lah, kita lanjut je lah. Kalau tak macam ni susah betul nak start pun. But today it seems that I have 40 people ya. You pray to God that to rain or something. Alright. I'm going to talk about settlement. Can you see this set of notes in front of my face now? Right? So I'm assuming that you know that I'm going to talk about settlement. Okay? And I should have my I should have this set of notes as well. This one that chapter 14 or whatever we call it. All right, chapter 14. Within easy reach of you. All right, and then
Nangis lah.
okay. Alright guys, you can see me now, right? Yang apa tu internet tu tak boleh pakai. Can you at least say something to me that you can see me or something?
Yes, sir.
What's the chat pun tak ada.
Nampak.
Okay. So, tapi chat tu tak keluar lah. Kenapa? Kalau nampak and you hear me, right? So, alright. I've set of notes semua ada kan? Alright. Okay, we can go ahead lah. So, I'll try to finish the page 1, Page 1 settlement ni, lepas tu you turn over the page, it says page 2, right? Turn over the page, it says page 2, 2.1 conventional consolidation settlement analysis. Now, beyond that, it's not, I'm going to go jump from page 3, meaning that if you in your set of notes, you can turn over the pages and you will see page 2A, page 2B, page 2C, and page 2D. Right? Page 2D. Now, if I get to page 2D today, kita berhenti je lah. Stop there and then we do our other discussion that is required, whatever discussion it is. That reminds me, Paras, apa tu, Shasha, at some point in time, I think I have to meet up with you to get a tripod stand and all of that lah. Yeah? Because now it appears that the Wi-Fi, kalau nak depend on the Wi-Fi, it is not so dependable, right? Okay, because you know, Wi-Fi ni is essentially provided by the telcos. If they don't, I mean, right now at this place, I don't think they have fiber optic. Yeah, so we are still using that always pakai copper wire too. So I think that's why when the weather is bad and all of that, we are interrupted. It's the same with UPM. So okay, settlement. I've been talking to you about bearing capacity, right? And essentially, bearing capacity is related to the issue of strength. All right, strength of the soil. In other words, what we are saying to ourselves is that is my soil strong enough to support the buildings or any other structures that I am putting on my ground? All right. The strength of soil, as have been mentioned to you a couple of times, is related to the two properties that you should by now be familiar with. Yeah, the value of C, which is to do with the cohesion, and the other value is the value of P, right? The angle of internal friction. So you have C and P, right? And these two values, C and P, they would give you the shear strength of a soil, right? C is equal to plus sigma V tangent of P, sigma V being the vertical stresses that an element of soil is being subjected to. Now, that's the first criteria in relation to any structures that you put on a soil, so you will have to deal with the strength of the soil. The second issue that we need to deal with, right, when we are designing a foundation is the settlement. And the settlement of a soil, when you load the settlement, right, this is to do with the compressibility of the soil, right? How compressible is the soil when you load it? Now, in soil, we tend to call this compressibility as settlement. So if I can go now to my first page on the settlement, right? Settlement analysis. Why do we do the analysis for settlement? Right? It's essentially due to the movements of the foundation of the structures, right? And it can be any of the reasons being listed there from A to E, right? Now, the first one is elastic and elastic compression of subsoil due to weight of structure. This should be very straightforward enough for you, because I think even in the other strength of materials class, right, or structures class, you have been introduced to this idea that when you put any load on any material, it doesn't matter whether it's concrete or soil or steel, right, or bricks, or timber, you can have this compression of the material. So whether it is elastic or inelastic. If it is elastic, it follows Hooke's law. If it is inelastic, then it follows any of the other laws, right? The plasticity of a material. Now, B is to do with groundwater lowering, producing increase in effective stress. And it says that you recall the case study in site investigation. I know that it's been a long time since since we talk about site investigation. By the way, you should probably realize by now that, even though we separate the topic, right? We have site investigation, we have carrying capacity, we have settlement. Really, they are all interrelated, right? And that's why, even though we have this classification of topics, they are, you can't really forget one without referring to the other. So if you recall the case study in site investigation, it was the breaking up of the bungalow, if you recall, right? It was essentially due to the lowering of the water table. All right, the lowering of the water table was because the contractor thought he was being smart enough by having a silver line, all right, that would go direct into the ocean, to the sea, all right, and then he pumped the water, all right. In so doing, in pumping the water, right, the water table is being reduced, and then the element above the water table, which previously, right, has some stress. Now that you lower the water table, that same element now, all right, would have an increase of stress. This is in relation to the effective stress principle. Sigma prime is equal to sigma minus U, right? The total stress minus the pore water pressure is equal to the effective stress, right? So if you have a reduction in the total stress here, right, for the case study remain constant, but the pore water pressure, you lower the water table, so now it is increased, right? So it is increased. The effective stress is increased. So if you play around with that equation, you probably realize what I'm saying to you. Anyway, the third thing is to do with vibration from pile driving, machinery vibration extra. Is particularly important for granular soil. So here, if you can imagine, the granular soil is to do with sandy type of material, right, where the cohesion is low. Okay, so if you can imagine, say, a container, all right, if you can imagine a container, and you fill up the container, say any tin can, all right, and you fill it up with rice, right? I'm just taking some other example of material that is common to your house, all right? So you put some sand, right? Some sand into the container, and then you try to shake it, right? You shake it and you shake it, and then what you're doing is that you're making your rice particle more compact, right? Then you can put some more of rice in the can, all right? So if you replace that that material, which is rice, with sand, all right, it has the same behavior. Now, why am I informing you about this example? Is because when we pile, all right, when we pile our, well, it's not really pile, when we drive our piles into the ground, I hope you know what I'm referring to, I only have two hands, so one hand is holding on to the phone, the other is now holding on to the pen right in front of me. But I actually I would like to have two of my hands, but I can't. So you imagine this finger now, right, that I have on top of my pen is it's a pile, some sort of hammer, whereby I'm applying the weight to the hammer, and I'm driving the hammer, boom, 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 and my pile is going into the ground, as I hope you can imagine. Okay, so now my pile is already in the ground, right? But prior to that, before it reaches the ground like this, then I am driving it, right? Driving it in, and you have a weight, very much like the SPT. If you can recall the SPT pictures that I showed you a couple of weeks and months back, all right, the SPT hammer is being dropped and then falls onto the SPT split spoon hammer, right, to get into the ground. So that hammer, right, it's the same principle as driving your plow. Now this method of driving the plow, right, is very energy driven. It's very rough. All right. So you can imagine when we are doing this, right? We go bang, bang, bang. So we are trying. It's like you also give the vibration from that processes to the soils around you. So if you can imagine again that vibration is like you shaking the can, yeah, a few minutes ago. That same vibration, if you like, will make the sand, if it is loose, more compact. Okay, so if it is more compact, then the sand, right, would rearrange itself, right? The volume decreases, right? So now if here is my surface initially, so now the volume decreases, it would have gone down. So you have this compressibility. All right. So that's C. D is seasonal swelling and shrinking of expensive clays. Okay, you have this particular clay which has a mineralogy. Right, mineralogy is to do with the kind of minerals found in the clay. All right, mineralogy is to do with the kind of minerals found in the clay. All right, and some of these minerals. All right, some of these minerals. I won't bother into the details. Right. Uh, okay, but I'll just explain in terms of minerals, kaolinite, elite, it's on chapter 1 of grade. All right, I think if I remember talking to you about this when you were doing soil mechanics 1 with me. Anyhow, all right, these minerals, some of this type of minerals, all right, when you add water to it, it tends to expand itself. All right, it's like you having a sponge. Say, for example, you add water to it. Some of the sponges it expands itself. Okay, and then when it is dry season, all right, dry season, not rainy season. All right, it is deprived of water. It shrinks. So it's not so much of a big problem in Malaysia. All right, you might have it somewhere, but generally you find that it is a big problem where in some of these countries where they have the 4 seasons, they have spring, summer, winter, and what's the other one? Spring, summer, winter, and I cannot remember now. Spring, summer, winter, and one of those others season. Okay, so when in winter the water tend to be frozen, right, because it's very cold, right? So and this clay, right, a certain type of mineral clay, right, is being deprived of the water, right? Then it shrinks. Other times perhaps in the spring, right, when the water melts, not when the water melts, when the ice melts, all right, and then you have more of this water, and then it also rains usually during spring. So the clay, all right, tend to expand. So you can imagine your house, say, right, your bungalow is on top of this type of clay, and then so you'll find that in the spring your house tend to sink, settle, and in the in the summer it tend to sink, all right, because you deprive of clay. Then in the when you have the more rainy season, if you like, right, it expands, so your house now starts floating. Now, most of your bungalows or houses, any form of structure is made of concrete. Very rarely these days we find that it's made of steel. So It's made of concrete. Your concrete cannot sustain this kind of going up and down. It starts cracking, right? Now, that is what is meant by the seasonal swelling of clays, of swelling and shrinking of expensive clays. All right. Now, the other one is number 5. All right. You have adjacent excavation and construction may cause movement. Okay. You have to imagine that you have the ground surface. All right. And then it is normal. Let me just draw it in here, and then I'll show it to you. Right, step by step in sequence. Right. And no longer in the classroom, so it's a bit difficult. So here's what I just draw. I hope you can see. It's just a line, a straight line, right? Okay. Right. Next. All right. This is 1. Now number 2. I just want to take some soil out. All right. So I have an excavation. Okay. That's number 2. So, I'll move out. Number 3. Imagine that I have a building beside the excavation. Okay. Number 3, I have a building now beside the excavation. Right? Okay. So number 1, I have originally a building on the surface of a soil. Number 2, I have an excavation. I'm removing soil outside this excavation, right? Out of the excavation. Number 3 is just the state of affairs as it is now, right? Now, you can remember that. Now, what I have is a little arrow, right? A little arrow whereby the soil beside the excavation has decided to move into the hole that I make, which is, the excavation. All right. So my horizontal surface by which the building was standing is not going to be horizontal anymore, right? Some of that soil is going to go into the excavation. So I will have some sort of settlement occurring to my building. All right. So, guys, can I have some indication that you are following what I'm saying? I cannot see my chat here. Say, yeah, we can try to follow. Hello, guys.
Yes, sir, we tried to follow.
Guys.
Yes, yes.
Sir.
Yes.
Chat tu tak ada keluar. Kenapa chat tu tak keluar dah sekarang ni?
Yes.
Dekat bahagian bawah tak ada, bahagian bawah.
Bawah tu nanti kejap mana tak ada. Yes, that's why I don't know. Tak ada.
Ada gambar
Ya,
macam
ada sini.
lambang orang
apa?
tak? Lambang orang, tulis berapa orang total.
Lambang orang 54 ke atas.
Sebelah dia.
Oh.
Bawah
Sebelah dia. Ada tak sebelah dia gambar chat?
Oh,
sebelah
gambar
dia?
chat 40 ni. Yang 40 ni. Kalau saya tekan kat situ dia keluar lah.
Yeah.
Ya.
Tekan. Alright. Cakap betul tu. Bukan dia.
Tak boleh standkan handphone dekat laptop. Cuba letak handphone dekat laptop. Bukan laptop.
Letak handphone pada laptop. Boleh letak tapi wire dia dekat bawah ni.
Oh, patutlah.
Bawah handphone tu.
Okay.
Kalau saya cabut wire ni, kan letak handphone atas laptop, lepas tu mungkin bateri mati.
Okay. Tak apa.
Tak apa, saya cabut wire ni dan kemudian saya letak ke atas laptop, lepas tu
Kalau horizontal kan tak boleh. Horizontal kan.
kalau bateri tu dah agak mati, saya masukkan apa ni. Saya masukkan balik. Ya.
Kalau okey.
Ya, kita baringkan dia ni. Yang baringkan dia ni apa Muhammad Noor Fizi ni? Fizi, apa dia baringkan dia? Baringkan handphone tu sah. Ya. Baring
Horizontal
macam ni.
kan. Boleh lah.
Oh, pandai. Okey, mana nampak? Nampak?
Boleh lah nampak.
Ada.
Ya.
So dah ada 2 tangan.
Guys, this is tiring, you know. Apa dia?
So dah ada 2 tangan.
Dah, okey. Tapi bila nak baca benda Allah apa chat ni kena macam ni lah. Kena macam mana? Kena baca.
Tak boleh. Handphone tu tak boleh landscape kan? Lens auto rotate kan handphone tu.
Macam mana nak rotate benda Allah tu?
Alamak, saya tak
Boleh
tahu.
ke?
Saya tak tahu pula saya guna handphone apa.
Samsung.
Saya tak reti. Siapa guna Samsung? Tolong ajar saya macam mana nak
Tak
rotate
apalah.
handphone.
Tak apa. Tak apalah. Tak apa benda Allah tu kalau saya nak baca, saya kena baca pelan-pelan benda ni. Tak apa dia cakap ataupun saya pusingkan. Okey?
Okay.
Alright. Tak apa for now. Alright. Okay, ni sekarang. Alright. So, jadi A, B, C, D, E. Right? We have A, B, C, D, E. Okay? A, B, C, D, E. And then, for kalau bawah tu, you see at the bottom of the page, according to the set of notes that I have, okay, I cannot read that. Okay? I have to refer to my own file here. And okay. Alright, the transparency actually says, you might want to write this down, alright? It says, focus of this course is on settlement. Alright, focus of this course is on settlement due to the change in weight applied. Due to the change in weight applied. So what we mean by that is that it's going to be A, right? A and B. A and B. C, D, E too, you're not going to be bothered too much about it. Alright? Okay. But it's good to know that, you know, this thing can happen. Why are we not bothered about all the others? Because we don't have much time. We have only 15 weeks and you have to do a lot more, right? So that's why we focus on only A and B. If you want to know more, then you probably have to study elsewhere. I mean, study some more. Okay? Alright. Okay. By the way, you people, after your prayers, after your salat, you make dua so that this MCO is over, this COVID is gone. Do I get any answer? No. Sandarkan handphone tu, sir. Anissa. Masih lagi kat situ. Alright guys, I'm moving on to 2A. 2A. Right? Are you with me here? 2A. 2A is not immediately, sorry, I shouldn't say 2A. I should go back to page 2. Sorry, page 2. Page 2 dulu. Alright. I'm on page 2. Okay, page 2. Alright. Phase 2 is, what do we mean by that settlement? Alright, so 2.1 conventional consolidation settlement analysis. Alright. Consolidation settlement has 3 phases: initial or immediate, then primary or secondary. Alright, assume 3 phases of separate analysis, i.e. individual phases. When we ask, you know, okay, now I have 2 fingers, you said to me, right? I'm just going to draw a straight line again. Here's my straight line again. Alright, this is a straight line. Okay, can you see this straight line? Tapi kalau dah dalam phone ni tak nampak ke? Okay, straight line. Alright. Now, if I put some stress on it, I'm imagining that the soil is going to come down, alright, by a certain amount. I just call it delta. Okay. Alright. Now you see this. Now it has come down. Alright, by a certain amount delta. Nicely uniform coming down. So if I have my book here, here's my book, here's my foundation level, all right? Initially, it is there, now it's come down like this, all right? That's the total settlement. Now, the total settlement, though, the total settlement that we have here, right, in this set of nodes, because we are engineers who depends on mathematics, right? We depend on mathematics to do the calculation, to do the prediction of settlement. So our brain cannot function when we say this, if we do not classify, separate the type of settlement, and then we need to do the prediction. Okay, all right, to do the prediction. So that is why when they talk here in this set of nodes, when they talk about consolidation settlement, initial or immediate settlement, and secondary settlement, it is just because for our brain to use some of this formula, the formula associated with, say, primary settlement or secondary settlement or initial settlement, that we give this classification. In real life, you can decide to just occur all at the same time. In other words, when I was showing this to you just now, when I was doing this and coming down, all right, you can have all three occurring at any one time. You don't know which one is occurring, all right? So what is mathematically acceptable is not as reflected in the real life, okay? Because it's just for us to do the prediction. Like this COVID-19, all right? Every day you hear them saying 270 people dead. Not dead. 275 infected cases, 200 cases, and then tomorrow one case. And then they have been trying to provide the, how do we call it? Provide the behaviors. How should we as a human being behave, right? We have a lockdown, or we have MCO, right, movement control order, or we have a conditional movement control order, or they release us to go out, all right? Now we can go to the supermarket, or they say to us that, no, you cannot do anything, you just stay at home, all right? Like in some countries, they say that. Now, all of this is based on prediction, right? You've seen I think you may have seen the curves. They are trying to say, flatten the curve, how much of it is flattening the curve, right? This is based on prediction. The prediction follows a certain mathematical rules, all right? But their prediction is only as good as the data that they measure. In other words, you need to test everybody actually, all right, in the whole country. The whole country has 32 million people, all right, 32 million people. And then 2 million people, and you test everybody, which is highly impossible to do, right? So they just based on a few of the data which is statistically acceptable, representative, right, to the population, and they hope that their prediction is as good, which is why you see that it's not as good, right? They cannot really predict, and that's why they are scared of giving permission to you, say, to come back to university and have face-to-face classes and all of that, right? So until we get a vaccine, the only way out is until we get vaccine or a drug, then only medicine, then only everything will be okay. So again, what is mathematically predictive is not necessarily what is happening in the ground. It is not too bad in terms of the prediction, right? If this, in soil, if we say that, 10-15% error is not that bad, right? So that is what is meant by that whole paragraph there, all right? Because I will show to you later how our prediction relates to actual relationship. Now, what do we mean by initial settlement? It occurs under undrained condition. Now, I'm not going to spend too much time on undrained drain. Dah banyak kali dah bagi tahu. I've told you so many times, right? what is undrained drain. All right. Now, especially clay. Undrained only occurs in clay. Doesn't occur in sand. All right. Clay deforms to accommodate applied shear stresses. Settlement due to change in the effective stresses. That's due to the initial settlement. The initial settlement, if we have clay, right, it occurs under undrained condition. This is just, the any material. All right, when it deforms to accommodate applied shear stresses, this is just elasticity problem, right? Okay, the second one is primary settlement. It occurs with volume change, dissipation of excess pore water pressure, increase in effective stress. This I've also explained to you many times. It's to do with when you have clay, it is fully saturated, the pores are fully saturated, and then you apply stresses, all right? And then when you apply stresses to a saturated clay, the pores are all filled with a fluid which we call water. So now the fluid is experiencing excess pore water pressure. Right? Initially, it has some static pore water pressure, and then you basically give a load on the pores, and then the pores now have excess pore water pressure. That excess pore water pressure, the soil doesn't like it, because like I said to you previously, originally, right, it is happy. See my cheek, I've shown to you my cheek so many times with excess pore water pressure. See my cheek here, nothing is happening to it because it's normal. All right, it is my mouth has an initial pore water, initial air pressure. Here is air pressure. Now if I do this, right, my cheek doesn't like it. That's excess pore water pressure. It wants to come back to its original situation. So, right, it comes back to its original position through dissipation of excess pore water pressure. That dissipation of excess pore water pressure is through drainage. What do I mean? The air in my mouth must come out. Right, must come out. Okay, so that whole thing, this primary settlement, all right, it is not written there, but you know now it is the process is called consolidation. Okay, it's called consolidation, and the resulting settlement, right, is called consolidation settlement. Okay, you have been introduced to this idea either in soil mechanics 1 or soil mechanics 2. All right. Now it's the same with the initial settlement. Initially, you have stress, and then you can have elastic settlement or not elastic. This last bit is the secondary settlement, which occurs when all excess pore water pressure is dissipated. So no more consolidation settlement. So you still have some compressibility, some settlement. Okay, and this settlement usually, right, when we do research, we think it is because of the particles, the mineral, the particles of the material, right, is yielding. It's like steel yielding. So if you can imagine, all right, you can imagine here my steel, wristwatch here, steel, right? So if I put a load here, right, and I leave it for say 1,000 years, all right, and no corrosion occur, the material doesn't degrade, but I would expect that this wrist would not have been the same length. It would have yielded. Can you imagine that? So the secondary settlement is due to that behavior, right? Due to that yielding behavior. All right. So in a soil layer, all three can occur at the same time simultaneously. That I don't know whether you can read the bottom part. All right, the bottom part should say to you what? Okay. Right. The bottom part should say, note in a soil layer or stratum, all three phases can occur simultaneously. I already mentioned that to you. Then the above separation is arbitrarily chosen. We randomly choose it the way we want to do it, right? Okay. If it helps us to do the prediction, then okay. All right. What time is it now? Okay. I might finish earlier than anticipated, guys, because I haven't done my prayers yet. I forgot to do my prayers just now. So, okay, now I'm moving on to page 2A. Are you with me? I'm on page 2A now. No, you're not saying anything. The last I see is
Yes,
Rohimatu.
yes, yes.
Yes, sir. Yes.
No, the message tu dah senyap je.
Yes, yes.
Anissa was the last one who said sandarkan handphone tu, sir. There Rohimatu Toyiba tu, sir, cute. Macam dah. Okay, I'm here. Alright. 2A. Alright. 2A is review one-dimensional conventional method of consolidation settlement, page 252. Great. Page 252, it means read the bloody thing, right? Just in case you don't realize what it means. Alright. Page 252, I should open it. Alright. Page 252, at least I know that these are the stuff that I need to refer to. I'm on page 252. Now, if you read this page 252 and whatever pages I refer to you, you would have realized that some of these things you have done it before. So this page 252 is in the chapter 7, consolidation theory. All right. And you see this picture here on page 245. You actually did soil mechanics 2 using this odometer. And why am I referring to this picture right now? Trying to remind you that you did all of these things because in site investigation, all right, we refer to this odometer test. All right. Well, in the lab test. Okay. See what I mean by you cannot forget. All right. You keep coming back to some of the things earlier and some of the other things later. Okay, quickly then, in that review, all right, from odometer test, we can obtain M sub V, which is the coefficient of volume compressibility. This you can find on page 245. C sub C, compression index, C sub V, consolidation coefficient. I'm not going to spend too much time, guys, on this because you have done the lab. You have also done this in soil mechanics 1 or 2. I cannot remember now. All right. Now, others, if you have forgotten, you need to review or recall the relationship between C sub V and M sub V. And then you need to realize what these symbols of N sub C and O sub C. They are to do with normally consolidated and over consolidated. And further to that, the normally consolidated and over consolidated, there is such a thing as over consolidation ratio. Okay, but that one, I think some people, they usually haven't done it depending on who teachers use soil mechanics, so they kind of forget about it. Now, again, this is my surface. It's to do with excavation, all right? Can you see this surface here? All right, I'm just drawing a straight line. Now I'm going to make an excavation. But before that, I'm going to draw an element of soil beneath my surface, okay? See, I have element of soil. That element of soil, of course, is subjected to vertical stresses and horizontal stresses, right? Okay. Now, this element is a bit shallow, right? Now I can draw another element further down, right? Here's my second element further down. I hope you can see it. All right. Second element further down. Now, they are subjected to vertical stresses and horizontal stresses. Okay, sigma B and sigma H. Yeah? Okay. Now, the sigma B, all right, is essentially because of the unit weight of the soil above the element. All right, so gamma multiplied by some Z, you usually say Z being the depth of the soil. Okay, so if I now remove my soil above that element. Okay, my second element, if I remove that soil above my second element, so I should have less of a sigma V, right? Now, so in the second phase, right, here's my element of soil. Here's the picture now. All right, here's my picture of the second part. All right, now this soil, this element here, soil, is now over consolidated. Why is it over consolidated? It's the opposite of what a natural element of soil would have undergone. All right, what is a natural element of soil? Oh, okay. Here on the left side, here, all I have is water. A long time ago, when the dinosaurs roam Earth, right, where human beings does not exist and all of that, right? A meteor hit Earth, and then the Earth becomes very cold, all right, and then we had all the continents being covered with ice, all right, covered with ice, and then we had global warming again, all right, and then all the soil begins to, sorry, not the soil, the ice begins to melt, and when in the process of melting, it carries some of these boulders, some of the soil into the ocean. So that, in fact, is actually how a glacial till, which is your first test, right, is being formed. So I'm going to draw on top of this surface of the ocean particles moving downwards and then forming several layers of, say, clay. Yeah. Okay, so you can see here particles here. Where on earth is it? Particles, you know, falling one after the other and then forming layers here at the bottom. All right, one layer, two layer, until finally you get all that clay being formed right up to the top. Okay. All right. See, you see this little picture here on the side. Yeah, you get clay with the water table. All right. So that is a full clay layer. So depending on how long this process is, this sedimentation process occur, then you're gonna have you're gonna have how compact this clay is, right? So that is the sedimentation process. Now, this picture, second picture that I drew is normally consolidated. This one here, the opposite of the sedimentation process, whereby you actually excavate and the element of soil experience reduced effective stresses, is over consolidated. All right? Okay, moving on. So then you can see there, right? This is the clay layer, right? On the my left hand side, this is the clay layer, all right? And I'm going to try to calculate the settlement of a thickness of clay, and then integrate it over a whole layer of clay. All right, and on this left hand side, you see is the void ratio against the vertical stresses, if you like. Yeah, the sigma 2 is the vertical stresses, and void ratio by definition, if you recall your soil mechanics one, is volume of voids over volume of solids. All right, volume of solid does not change. Now, any settlement is going to occur is because of the voids. The voids are filled with either water or air. If it is saturated, then it's all filled with water. All right. If it is completely dry, then you have in the voids all air. All right. So then you can also have partially saturated. You can have in the voids, the pores, if you like, air and water. Now, most of the time in your soil mechanics classes, they only teach you it is fully saturated or it is dry. Partial saturation, they usually don't teach you too much on it, okay? Because these are the two extremes. All right. So if you look there, all right, on the left hand side of my, this is my left hand side. Okay, I have a layer of clay of thickness H, and then I'm going to take an element of a thickness of clay at some depth Z. Okay, depth Z, and then the clay itself is the thickness of the clay is Z, small z actually. It should be delta Z there, right? My set of notes is shown to be Z as well. It should be delta Z, and this picture actually you can find it on page 245. There's page 245. No, there's no picture there.
$253.
Sorry?
253.
Page 253. Okay, let me see. Okay. All right. So it should be delta Z. All right. Can you see my set of notes just say Z there? It should be delta Z. All right. The thickness of the clay. All right. So I will have my clay layer. All right. I have my clay layer. I just didn't draw it on that even that set of notes doesn't show it. Right. That you actually put stresses on the clay, and then you'll have this rho sub C due to consolidation. All right. So you apply the vertical stress, and then in elemental layer is that delta Z, thickness delta Z at depth Z. So there is because of that increase in the stresses delta sigma. All right. So from initial state of sigma prime naught to final state of sigma prime 1, you find that the void ratio would have decreased. Again, void ratio, right, is equal to volume of void. So volume of solid doesn't change, right? The particle solid is going to be remaining there, but what changes is because of the void. So E naught now is reduced to E1. Okay, so if you can get that into your head, then that whole description here is just an explanation of that chart, right? Okay, so now from page 2B onwards, it's just manipulation of the mathematics. All right, change in volume over original volume is just related to the original void minus the final void, right? On page 2B were over the total volume of 1 plus E naught. Now all of that is due to the phase diagram. If you kind of forget and you still want to learn what this is all about, right? I'm on page 23, for example. You remember this phase diagram? Okay. You have solid, voids, and all of that. So that is in relation to all of this. Okay. Now the important thing is to have the physics, the understanding of what is happening, right? So change in volume divided by the original volume, all right, is equal to the change in the void ratio, right? Change in void ratio is a function of change in voids over change in the solids, because the solids do not change. So the change in voids is just an indication of the change in volume. All right. I'm trying to look at the 1 plus E naught picture. If we can have it somewhere. I think this book doesn't show it to you all. All right. At any rate, it's only the picture on page 23. And I just want to remind you that from this phase diagram, we actually get all of this formula, right? This formula, volume of voids, volume of void, volume of solid, equation 1.5 is equal to void ratio, right? This formula they all come from that phase diagram. So enough of that soil mechanics. One. So in page 2B, all of this mathematics is just trying to show to you the manipulation of the void ratio and the mathematics, right? Because I explained this a little bit more than usual, because I know that some of my students, when they see all this mathematics, they get a phobia, all right? So then they get worried about what it's all about. Anyway, after you do all that manipulation, and if you are familiar with all these consolidation, odometer consolidation, you'll get this equation that for an elemental of layer delta Z, you'll get this amount of consolidation, and it is related to M sub V of delta sigma prime multiplied by delta Z. Okay, so now because it is a small element of delta Z and we actually have a thickness H, so we just integrate from 0 to H, that equation, and we got this equation whereby M sub V times delta sigma prime multiplied by H, or this other equation which we change in terms of the void ratio. Okay. Now, this other equation is only applicable for normally consolidated clay. You now know what normally consolidated clay is because I've actually explained to you a few minutes ago. All right. So, now, you see this, when we do site investigation, we're going to sample the soil, right? And I recall just now, a few minutes ago, I drew that element of soil. It can be at various different depths. And you know the clay, right? The clay is being formed layer after layer after layer, and probably over a long time. All right. So you can have different state of stress because the element of clay, it is being, what do we call it? It is being is being stressed at different time and over a longer time. So you would expect at the bottom of the clay, right, you will be stressed a lot more than at the top. All right. So why do I explain that to you is because you can therefore have these properties M sub B. M sub B different from the top and bottom. That's why when we do site investigation, we take a sample at the top. We also take a sample at another layer in the middle and a third. And we then take it to our lab, all right, and we test for the, we put it in the odometer and we test the sample, all right? So, if we do that, because we have different M sub V, so we should also we cannot also assume that our clay layer is consistent. So we need also to divide it into the various M sub B, right? So that's what this paragraph in 2C is trying to explain to you, all right? And we always take it at the center of each layer. So now that's the example, very simple example. Here's the problem. Here's your load from the from your building at the top at some depth, right? We when we did bearing capacity, we said to ourselves that the depth is, we do not have our footing at the surface of the soil, all right? Then we have 7 meters, 25 meters, all right? The thickness of the sand. Then we have clay. Now you see here, this is water table. The first layer here is sand, right? Sand, and then we have clay. Sand sits on clay. That's like, you know, you have the sponge, you know, not the sponge, the eraser and the whiteboard, which we use to erase the whatever I write on the board. So the upper part is stiffer. The bottom part is the clay, which is the sponge. So if I put a load on that duster or whatever we call that, right, I'd expect the sponge part to be more compressible than the upper part, right? So clay is going to be more compressible to the sand, right? So that's why we're going to calculate the settlement on the clay. Plus the settlement, plus this clay layer is 4 meters, and this is total of 29 meters. So again, if any settlement is going to occur, it's going to occur in the clay. That's a bit difficult for you to understand, but accept it from me that that's what it is. Now, we're going to have rough footing, okay? And we're going to use this, how much stress is being applied to this clay layer in the thickness layer, right? We need to know how much stress. Here's the top. Here I give, it's been given 125 kilopascal. So when it is like, how far depth? 25 plus 227 minus 3.5. 22.5 meter deep at the bottom. Sorry, no, 23.5 meter deep. What is the stress that I'm giving? All right. Now 24 meter, but 24 meter is that's about 70 feet, right? That's what, you know, if you think in terms of meters, you know, that's fine with me. But I'm thinking, my head thinks in terms of feet. All right. If it is feet, that's like me now sitting on my chair here, and I'm actually 60 feet above, 4 stories high to the ground. So by the time if I am applying 125 kilopascal, all right, what would be that stress, yeah, for the element that is something like 4 story down below? You see? So that's where the problem is. I'd expect it to be less, the stress, yeah, but how much less? Because it's so far away from where I'm applying the stress. I'm sitting here, right? And it's going to be transferred some 4 stories below. Right? Okay. So that's one I need to find out. All right. And from that, I'll just use the equation which just now, which we have, what do we call it? Calculate tadi yang we derive. So you are going to use this figure 5.10 in Craig to determine the increase in stress, some 23.5 meter below the stress that is being applied. So figure 5.10 is on page what? Let's just have a look at it. Okay. Right. Figure form 5.10 is on page 171. All right. It tells you what the stresses are if you apply the stresses on some sort of shape. It could be footing shape, that is a square, circle, or it could be rectangular. All right. Okay. Now, when I look at all this, you remember this picture here? All right. I remember I'm having a hard time with some of this charts, right? And she was asking me about it, right? See, all this business and bulk, onion bulk, all right? So this chapter was about stresses from elastic theory. Now, you want to have figure 5.14, figure 5.10 in front of you, right? And you have to hear me carefully, very carefully, all right? So I have some influence factor I sub R on the vertical. And then at the bottom here, on the horizontal axis in the log scale, I have M. Okay? All right. Now I have all these lines, all these curves, which gives me N. All right? Now M and N, all right, are interchangeable. When I say M and N are interchangeable, I'm looking at this thing, this small picture here. I can write MZ on the width, or I can write MZ as the length. All right. So MZ, NZ are interchangeable. Okay. It doesn't matter on that small picture. Then Q. Q is the stresses that I apply on this shape, which happen to be some rectangle. Okay. It's a rectangle, Q. Right. Apply all the stresses on that rectangle, call it Q. All right. And then again, I'm looking for the increase in stress. Increase in stress at some depth, Z. So it is sigma Z. And where can I find it? Only at the corner. Look at that diagram. It says apply Q all over the rectangle. It has length of it has breadth of MZ, length NZ, but you can only find the stresses at the corner of this rectangle. Okay, this is important to understand. At the corner of this rectangle, at that depth, not any other corner, that specific corner. All right, I have 4 corners. I have 4 corners. 1, 2, 3, 4. but not at this corner, not this corner, not this corner, only at this corner. All right, apply all the stresses on there. Why is it important? Because now, if I go back to this rough footing, see, rough footing, it so happened that I am splitting this rough footing, which have all these dimensions, into 4 areas. Okay, into 4 areas. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? When I use this chart, I must say, what am I doing? Right? Because here is the picture. Right? Okay? Don't mix around, because I notice students, they will mix around. Sometimes they say in the middle here, sometimes they say here. But they mean, okay, and I look at this picture here, why, this one here, I must find it here. If I put my MZ and NZ, all right? That's one. 2, the second thing, if I go through use the chart, I find the total stresses, delta sigma prime here, all right? I put 4 here. Why do I put 4? I have, go back here, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, do the same thing 4 times. Now, I would suggest you don't follow this. I would suggest you break them into 4 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4. Even though the size and dimension are the same, just do it. Then you say for this one portion A.
Sir, tak nampak gambar yang 4 tu. Ke tengah sikit.
Boleh, ni. Ni ternampak.
Tadi saya tunjuk yang nak divide 4 tu, tak nampak.
Okey, so sekarang nampak tak?
Sekarang dia ke tepi. Dia tak tengah.
Ni.
Macam
Okay.
nak divide.
Okay. Alright. So it happens to be that this 4 area is sama, the same. Alright. So MZ is all going to be the same. That's why 4 times the same thing. Am I clear?
Okay.
Okay. Kan? 10 sen ada dalam satu poket. Tapi 10 sen tu ada 4 kali. Dapatlah 40 sen, betul tak?
Betul.
Okay. Kalau kata ada 10 sen dengan 5 sen, dapat 40 sen tak? Kita pulanglah pada berapa 5 sen dan 10 sen kan? Sebab tu ambil satu-satu daripada poket. Ini 5 sen, ini 10 sen. 10 campur 5, 15 sen. Do 1 by 1. Don't do like smart people do. Ini orang dah pandai tak apalah. Kan? Dia do 4 times. Right? Do it 1 by 1 delta sigma. So now if I were to go through this process, okay, L over Z, M, what is it? N over Z, what is it? Then do 4 times for the 4 different spacing. Okay, there are 4 spacing tadi. Kita pecah principle of superposition. Then we add up for each of those area at the corner, and we should get this answer of 4 times 1 point blah blah blah. Why am I saying this? Nanti ya, Kang. So then we get this delta sigma. This is the stress at the bottom to 70 km. Then we stick into the equation and we blah blah blah. We get the settlement 15 millimeter. This is on the assumption that the value of M sub B is the same for all the layers. Right? Now again, this photograph, it is at the center. The 4 areas are the same. When I'm using this picture here, right, I got to be careful. This small picture here tells me where I'm getting the stresses. Now, this picture tells me I'm taking it at the center. It so happened that the area are all the same here, right? So I can do 4 times. They add up at the center to be the same, right? 4 times. Now, I'm going to take this set of notes again, right? I'm going to reinforce that idea to you. You see on this figure, page 14.84. Right, page 14.84. You actually did this finding the stresses in soil mechanics 1. All right. I'm not dividing this foundation footing here in the center. I am being asked to find the area here dekat Allah. I'm being asked to find this at this point A here, right? Which is not within this area. All right. So I have to like create a square or a rectangle, and this is going to be at the corner. And then I have to minus the stresses that that is not related to the foundation area in order for me to get this here. All right. So I'm warning you about that. And just in case you do not follow what I am saying, all right, you want to look at this example on page 173. See this picture 173, they have a different shape. How to use that chart, that figure 5.10, I believe it is called. It is Fadum's chart. This one. All right. Okay. So I'm done with this settlement, how to apply it. Then it says, right, on page 2D, settlement analysis using one-dimensional odometer, compression infrequently encountered in practice may not be reliable. In other words, if you use the odometer test, that means we do site investigation, we take our sample, we go to the lab, put our sample, clay sample in odometer, and then from the M sub B and blah, 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 we predict the settlement. Like the example, all right, it's not going to be a good prediction. Okay, if you look on the next page, figure 14.2, this picture. All right, this picture, figure 14.2. You see that picture, that graph says, all right, that essentially is settlement against time, right, in number of years. You also notice the first thing, that number of years settlement in real life take a very long time to settle. In clay, I mean in soil especially, and especially in clay. If you look at the settlement for the observed case, in other words, I bring my theodolite, I go to this bridge in London every day for, I graduate at 22, right? And for every day I go over to the bridge, I go and measure the settlement, how far down is the bridge has gone down. So only after 15 years, it settles down. It becomes a plateau, right? It settles down. So 22 plus 15 is 37. I do nothing but that, right? That's how long, to give you an indication of settlement to settle. Now, on the same graph, you see that, on the same graph, this is the conventional method, right? The top part. That conventional method is what you just calculated a few minutes ago. That's the one-dimensional consolidation method, right? The normal consolidation. Okay. We will soon learn another modification because we are not too happy. Right? We will have another method which we call Scampton theorem. In bearing capacity, you just learn Scampton. Now in settlement, it is not just Scampton theorem. Theorem is Swedish, right? If I recall correctly, Scampton is British. They both work on this method of prediction. But even then, you look at that. If you accept that this is, this is the conventional using your odometer, and this one here is the Scampton theorem. This is the observed value, the one at the bottom. You see the difference. If I look at 20 years, right? 20 years, the settlement by the conventional method, right? It says 42 millimeter. Actual value is 90 millimeter. So far away. Yeah, the prediction and the actual observation. See? And then the Scampton theorem method, it has improved. Okay, it says about 65 maybe. Yeah, 65. Still not that great. Very far from the actual value of about 90 millimeter. But that's how it is in terms of the science at the moment. All right. So I'm on 2D. This is just trying to say to you why we need to learn all these different methods. Otherwise, I'd be happy to just learn one method. This is also why I'm teaching you and showing you all these other methods. So guys, I need to take a break here. I need to do my prayers. This is already too near Asar. So I'll be back, say, in 10 minutes, and then we can continue with the discussion, whatever you want to discuss, plus some of the things I need to discuss with respect to the assessment. Okay? Say something. Right.
All right, sir.
Right or chat. Chat. Say.
Okay.
Okay.
Alright.
Okay, sir.
How come
Saya pergi
today?
solat
How
dulu,
come
sir.
today you all?
Okay, sir.
All right. How come today you are not? Okay, fine. But how come today? Huh?
Scroll
No, how
down.
come today you're not? No, how come today you're not writing so much as the last time? Last time you
Sir,
said tulis.
Saya kena scroll ke bawah, sir.
Scroll down the chat.
Oh, scroll down the chat.
Ah.
Baru nak cakap. Okay. Apa baru nak cakap?
Nampak tak?
Ya, apa Ain cakap ni? Ain cakap, berapa? Allah tak. Tadi tak cakap. Saya dah komplain, kata orang senyap je hari ni. Okay, so sekarang pukul berapa? Pukul 4.20. I'll be back by say 4.35 ke nak sembahyang sekejap ya? Boleh?
Okay.
Say okay.
Okay, Ayar.
Alright, bye.
Okay.
Alright, what am I going to talk about now? Habis dah today lecture notes, habis dah. Ayo, letih lah. Guys, I think I have only 43 people today. Betul? Can you to see your chat?
52.
52. 52.
Kat sini tunjuk 52.
Oh, 52. Betul. Ni siapa ni? Amy cakap ya? 52. Kenapa suara lain?
Syasha.
Abby. Oh, Sasha. Okay, Abby 52 including me. Yeah, okay. Alright. Not Emily Shahira. Bukan Abby. Alright. Okay, Abby 52 including me. So, I think in our class it's supposed to be what? 7. Cannot even read this thing now. 57, 58. I'm supposed to have 58. So, 53. That means I'm always losing like 5. I think the last time we had also I think 52. It's not that I particularly care about that. But the problem is that when you don't turn up for classes, right, and that day happen to be I collect the homework, then you'll be having a hard time. Because I do not take late submissions, and it's also one of the ways by which I have to. I am employing to what do we call it? To have some quality control, in order for you, to be accepted for accreditation. Already, this MCO is giving all of us a hard time, right? Because I don't know whether you know it, but in America, some of the universities, they just cancel the classes and they said, forget it, let's just all go home. Whatever grades, whatever home coursework that you have been given, we'll use that, and then that will be your grade. Now, in some other universities in the United States, they decided to just give you pass or fail. No more A, B, C, D, and then what happens? And then no more A, B, C, D, pass or fail, and then whatever grades you get during the lockdown period, the MCO, whatever they call it, right? MCO lockdown, they do not use it as part of the CGPA. Yeah. So I think if you have been reading or if you've been watching the news, even in Britain, they cancel the what you call here in Malaysia the STPM, right, and the SPM. Here in Malaysia, we still at least have it because we usually have that test during September, right? In September. So Hafizi kata Iskandar tak ada, aman sikit. So yeah, the O level and the A levels in Britain is being cancelled for this year because they usually do it in June, right? If I recall correctly, in May or June during the summer, dekat-dekat nak summer tu. So for us here in December, I think Muaz tak ada, Iskandar tak ada. Am I right, Amy? 53, Abby said 53. 2 minutes. 53 with Abby, is that 53 with me? Abby dah hilang. 2 minutes ago you was here. Yes, I are. So Abby is with me. 53 with me. So I just now said that we should have 58, right? 58, yeah, 58. So I have 5 missing. Now again, I'm not too particularly bothered, about you missing classes or not. As far as I'm concerned, if you miss your classes, then you must know what to do with your life, isn't it? So you can probably read up yourself or whatever, right? And I for one do not wish to treat you like school children, right? Because I think you are almost, because you're already an adult and you should know what is important for you and what isn't important. So usually, I just give you the attendance and then you want to write whatever you write. That's your business, right? Now, there are a couple of things that I should be talking to you about it. Yeah. Can you read what Habizi is saying? He's saying sekolah dah buka, mesti universiti pun akan buka juga nanti kan? Well, it's a function of how human beings in Malaysia behave. If they practice physical distancing, if the migrant workers, the migrant workers are given proper places, proper residence, where they can practice social distancing. Right now, they're living, some of them, 10 people in one small house. So people are going to be, people are going to get infected. It's okay if only them get infected, but once those migrant workers, I have nothing against migrant workers. We need them, right? We don't have them. A lot of the things in Malaysia cannot be done, right? For example, rubbish is not collected, roads are not swept, because no Malaysian wants to do that work for whatever reason. Okay, so once you release these people out into the occupational sector, they start cleaning the roads and everything, and then we forget how to practice physical distancing. Then everybody gets infected again and everybody gets locked down again. So susah, tak tahu nak cakap sekarang ni. So macam right now I'm reading Shasha is saying sekolah buka untuk form 5, form 3, untuk student exam penting dia kan. Yalah, only for those. But in Britain right now, the government is arguing with the people that they should have all the primary school children, of course, with physical distancing and whatnot, to be open. Why? Because you are denying one generation of people from an education. Because education is not just like what you and I are doing now, just learning, online learning. Education is also you interacting with other people, communicating with other people, smiling, laughing, making mistakes, right? So that's an education. But, which is why also some people are complaining in terms of, they're not getting a holistic education. They didn't pay to go to university, to pay the fees to go to university to have online learning. Online learning macam ni lah kan. You're not getting everything lah, you get something. Tahu tak? So See, even Abby is saying yes. Emmy pun yes. Unless you write, unless you people like this, kan, it's okay lah kan. But I don't know, you know, I'm voicing my anxiety partly, you see, because I'm having it hard here, right? Because partly, if you are an employer and if you're going to employ people like you who's going to graduate in 2 years, how are they supposed to look at your transcript? So kalau which is why I'm going to discuss about the next topic, which is to do with the assessment, right? So you imagine, right? I mean, however hard I may come across to you, I am, you know, by nature not that strict, but you know, but I tend to think more in terms of you when you graduate, or how your grades are going to be used, you know, and what it means to your future. That's why sometimes I will not compromise on certain things, because I worry more about you than myself. Okay, so and I didn't ask to be in this situation, because I was supposed to have been retired. It was all in my plan. It was just nice. MCO came along, I would have, you know, shook my leg, so to speak. But given the circumstances, I don't think that I could have afford to do that, because kalau saya nak berkerah hati dengan head of department tu, nanti dia mati pula, susah, pening kepala saya. Good. So anyway, Amy bergelak. Anyway, I you know, sometimes I was yesterday talking to Shasha kan, because I thought yesterday I am going to use the laptop. Senang sikit, so I was practicing with her apa perlu buat, what I can do and what I cannot do. But as you can see, the same problem yesterday was okay, not too bad. But I wasn't in conversation with her yesterday for far too long, because I thought that, you know, oh, okay, everything seems to be okay except for the voice to putus a bit, all right? So then I thought we could just go ahead and do it today, but it appears that, you know, it's a function of the weather. Now, Hakim now he's laughing and putting up name. Fizi kata sebab ramai sangat kot yang join meeting ni. Dia ada limit ke, Fizi? I thought dia tak ada limit. Shakila, can you answer that? Macam Zoom dulu dia limit. Macam Zoom dulu, they limit to 40 initially. Tapi then they release that limit. Guys, do you know if Google's limit the number of people? Ya Allah, macam mana ni? Semua tak tahu. LDK sir tu apa? Tidak. MB kata LDK. Tak tahulah sir. So macam mana kalau tak tahu macam mana? Tak. Okay, wait a minute. Right? If there is a limit, why is it that on the phone I can do it? No, on the phone I can do it. Because the phone I'm not using Wi-Fi. Okay, Haziq Azhar kata tak ada limit sir, cuma server jadi lambat. Which server pula tu? Server kat Google. Farah Shasha Zukrina kata mungkin laptop sir berat. Ini physically berat ke ataupun virtually berat? Kau tak boleh main lah Maira. Kita tahu betul. Maybe Wi-Fi connection, sir. Liana kata, what is meant by the internet and connection? Because you see, right? Stop writing for a while and listen. Okay? Unlimited, maybe connection. Okay, Fazli kata maybe connection Wi-Fi. Okay. Kalau connection Wi-Fi, there is nothing much I can do, isn't it? Because that is just the Wi-Fi. Okay, kalau connection Wi-Fi, kalau saya ambil kabel, if I use the cable, alright, and I connect it to the modem, will I be facing the same problem again? Macam today, putus-putus Wi-Fi? Anyone? Kalau laptop lama, bandwidth very small. Syakila setuju dengan Arman. Nadia Abdullah now hotspot. Hotspot ni saya tak faham apa benda. Hotspot ni pakai phone hotspot, mobile hotspot. Okay. Ebenezer now yes. Amy say yes. I have phone connected dengan Wi-Fi ke mobile data? Mobile data, Akmal. Barang saya buka hotspot kat phone, lepas tu connect dekat laptop. Ini dah satu kerja Mara. I agree with you, boleh buat, tapi yang ini kan kena jumpa Syasha. Nak jumpa Syasha apa satu hal lah sekarang ni. Nak jumpa kat mana pun tak tahu. Sebab apa tu, nak pergi MACD pun tak boleh. Saya duduk mana? Saya duduk kat saya boleh datang around Serdang, boleh lah datang, no problem. Nak MACD juga tak boleh, Amy nak pergi MACD. Dia dah tak ada table dah. Sasha apa semalam cakap kat saya, dia tak ada. Nak duduk kat luar MACD boleh lah. Itulah apa tu Syakila, kalau nak ada mobile data yang banyak tak boleh garanti, sebab orang cakap kat saya pun macam tu. Jadi kalau macam ni pakai telefon je lah. And then at best kita at best saya pergi beli tripod kan. Kalau tadi letak atas laptop tu macam tu tak bagus. Lah Fazli nak buat macam mana, saya pun kalau boleh tak nak. Bukanlah tak nak mengajar kan. Kalau saya betul-betul pun saya don't want to have this kind of thing kan. Tapi nak buat macam mana? Inilah hidup kita semua kan. So itu hari I send tak boleh balik UPM ke sir. Sebab certain lab staff dah masuk kerja. Betul Imran. Hari tu saya balik, saya reda je, kena dapat surat daripada dekan. And then I think on Wednesday they wanted a meeting. Ini orang ialah meeting, but they didn't go to the faculty. They made the meeting dekat padang golf tu, dekat golf club. And then the people yang nak meeting tu produce a letter, tapi pakai letter HUPM. Alright, at any rate dekat Pak Gad yang dekat Pak Gad masuk pintu yang lagi satu tu, itu bukan yang main sini, yang bukan kat faculty tu, ujung nak masuk padang golf tu. Pak Gad tu, you have to, I just explain to you all the procedure dulu. You have to scan, pakai QR code. You have use the code, you scan, and then you have to fill up all this form. Then they ask you all sorts of question, you know, siapa nak jumpa lah. Kadang-kadang kita tak tahu siapa nak jumpa, phone number dia, we don't know. But you know, whatever you can do, you do lah. Yeah. I told the guy, I don't know the phone number. Dia kata tak apa, submit je. Lepas tu, temperature, they check, then you have to put it in the form. All online lah. Okay, dan lepas tu, pass the Park Guide, then pergi kat Clubhouse Golf Club tu, Golf Club UPM. Lagi sekali kena buat macam tu. Kan nak masuk Golf Club tu. Lepas tu kena pakai mask. Kan? Lepas tu barulah masuk dalam meeting room. Meeting room kau lah kena ada physical distancing kan, 1 meter away at the minimum lah. All of that. That's the kind of situation. Now why am I saying that? This same procedure, alright, this same procedure is also being applied to the faculty. And then in the case of Wednesday meeting too, I am considered as a pelawat. I am a visitor. So yesterday when I spoke to Shasha, I'm not sure even kalau sekarang kan, without a letter you can go. But you can try, for example, by declaring yourself as a pelawat and then put up some name and then bubuh je lah handphone and then and then you scan. So I haven't tried. So yesterday I told Shasha, mungkin boleh, mungkin tak boleh. Kan? Saya pun kurang pasti. That's the kind of situation. Kan? So, but that's normal. Liana cakap kata that's a lot of effort. That's normal. Kalau pergi supermarket sekarang kan, macam mana Liana? Kalau kata pergi supermarket, tak macam tu. Because some of the supermarkets that I go to, right, not some, but another one that I go to, because there are too many kadang-kadang orang dalam supermarket yang that is near where I want to go, right? Dia dah pakai that that thermal scanner, kan? You stand there, dia tangkap gambar you semua, so you don't even have to put anything. Okay, same thing I did when I went to shopping mall. Betul lah macam Amy cakap tu. Kan? So it's like standard practice. Kadang belum sampai bilik kita pun dah letih. And everything takes longer. You know, I was saying to Shasha yesterday, everything takes longer anyway. Kan? Nak pergi pharmacy kadang nak beli ubat gigi ke for some reason. Alah, beli ubat gigi dah kena queue panjang lebar. Kan? So that's the new normal. That's right. Betul lah. Norma baru. Sabar je lah. Sabar macam mana kan, redha dan sabar. Tapi kalau diberi, if given the exception kan, I wouldn't want to go through all of this. Kan? Orang tanya buat apa ni hari, pergi supermarket je, balik dah letih. Okay, given the circumstances, I think everybody knows that it is the new normal and life is not going to be kalau keluar sehari, masuk 10 kedai kena isi form, dah pakai hand sanitizer, lunyai tangan. Betul Maira, kering tangan. Fazli cakap, sir, assessment ni macam mana? Itulah dia nak cerita ni. Okay. I think kalau next time kita ada kelas, right? I think pakai phone je lah kan. Kalau pakai phone, what on earth? Pakai phone and macam ni lah kan. Kalau if we try with the laptop, tak boleh juga. Nak buat macam mana, nak cakap pun tak tahu dah. I mean this week, right? Come to think of it, I spent a week trying to fix the Wi-Fi. They finally came, right? Because they say it's a green area and that no infection. Then by the time they came and fixed everything, then my laptop, I was worried that tak boleh pula nak detect. So I went to the computer shop, right? That took me like another day, whole day. The computer shop finally fixed that. And then all this while I'm trying to think, should I, discuss my things with Shasha and whatnot, but, dia macam so many ifs and buts. So anyway, given the circumstances, you know how difficult it is for me. What I'm trying to say is that, inilah hidup kita sekarang kan. So, assessment ni you nak buat macam mana? Jangan tanya saya je Fazli. Macam mana? And actually, frankly speaking, I don't care. Maksud I don't care ni bukan apa. Maksudnya kan, the fact that you are attending classes and the fact that you are trying to learn something is already a big effort as far as I'm concerned. But then what I think is immaterial. All right? You should try to ask this, to answer this question by asking yourself, how do employers think of your grade? What do they think? And all of this. All right? And then we will have to be realistic now. Nur Syamimi binti Abdul Rahman, THT for test 2. You see, take-home tests, right? By right, are very difficult. Take-home tests for open book. Alright? And usually there is no one straight answer. It just so happened that this year I give the same one. Alright? So, tu nanti dulu Liana, can we submit the homework on Friday tu nanti satu-satu jawab. Okay? So now we are talking about this assessment dulu. Test tu semua. Here, I haven't made up my mind yet. Alright? Because I am trying to gauge what is happening right now. Because I don't blame Sasha for this, because yesterday I asked her about how other people are doing it, because I needed to know. Now, that's one thing. Second thing, I'm giving the background first. The second thing is I haven't finished reading up. Bukan haven't finished reading up pun, tak sempat nak baca pun dia punya SOP tu. SOP on online assessment. Letih nak buka benda tu, nak baca tu pun dah lah panjang-panjang pula kan. Lepas tu dia tak apa dia cakap, kita tak tahu kan. You see, SOP is the standard operating procedure. Now, with that, two information. The first information, back to the first information, what Shasha relate to me. Now, I know Shasha is a different cohort from the rest of you. Okay. Some people, they do also what Shakila told me. She said to me first, Shakila, she said to me, Dr. Azizi gave you guys and the guys who attended classes the online assessment. And then I heard that, and then I just said, okay, fine, but I didn't actually pursue her on the details. So I would like to pursue again on that detail. The other thing is, what Shasha told me is that some people, they bagi take home test like what I did with the test one. All right, some people, they give 3 days, right, for you to answer the question, and then that's it. You have to bagilah balik kan the thing, the what they call a test, which is like a take home test also, and then some data are not given, and then you have to assume the data, presumably the data that you so decide will be appropriate and quite realistic lah kot. All right. Now, when I'm talking to you about this thing, my brain is thinking, of all the possibilities and what I can do to you, right? But I'm trying to balance all of those things that is in my head to also what is realistically happening to all of us, right? So, ni apa yang para Syasha cakap ni, bagi kita orang bacakan. Bacakan apa? SOP tu.
SOP,
okay.
SOP.
Oh, nah SOP tu. SOP tu nantilah saya hantar, saya pun tak tahu dah. So, yang final exam dia belum cerita lagi tau. Final exam, everybody is, as I recall it, right, the final exam too, nobody bothers about it yet. But some people dah panicking lah, dah panic tu lah, nak buat lah kan. Belum hujung pangkal lagi dah nak buat dah. So, I think what Shasha said to me, I have covered kan. And then some people still give, then I asked her about online learning lah, online teaching and learning, TNL ni, how do people do it, right? Then she said some pakai Google Meet, some pakai handphone, kan? I think to me right now the handphone ni more reliable lah. I don't know anything else, kan? Sebenarnya saya pernah bengong lah ibaratnya. Right? So, online assessment. Para Syasha Zakrita. Okay, Okay, Kimi Hakim pun gelak juga. Imagine dek, you can, Kimi, can you imagine that the last part of my teaching, right? I have to teach in a new mode, and right, and I'm not going to use this anymore. So that's that in English. In English, we are saying, it's ironic, isn't it? Good, because I'm doing this part time, betul tak? Sebab macam kita cakap tadi lah, kesian lah kat you kan. Tu dia ironi kasih. Macam dah Kimi. Okay, so yang test ni, test and exam ni, final exam I still don't know. SOP belum baca. Apa tu Syasha kata bagi you baca. Nanti saya dah, bila saya senangkan diri saya sekejap, saya buat benda tu, insyaAllah, kalau saya ingat. Alright, and then I'll try to have to discuss dengan Syasha. Now, answer this question dulu sementara saya ingat. Alright, do I need to get a tripod stand ke macam mana? Should I get one? Yes, Amy says. Fazli says yes. Nur Akila says yes. Amira, you should. Okay, fine lah. That means I try to communicate with Syasha. Syasha semalam dia cakap kat saya, dia kata kalau tak saya boleh belikan untuk IR pun. Saya tak payahlah Syasha, takkan ini kan. Tapi nanti saya I think for the moment, right, I'm thinking that I should communicate, liaise dengan Syasha, because I'm assuming that Syasha knows what she's talking about. Me, I don't know what, I mean, I know what a tripod stand is, but I tak pernah pergi kedai tengok benda tu, tak pernah nak tahu benda tu, right? Can't be bothered, okay? Alright. Dekat kedai gadget ada. Betul lah, Syamimi dekat kedai gadget ada. Tapi yang mana, macam mana, kan? Berapa ringgit, saya abuk pun saya tak tahu. I know you have one. Lepas tu you guna untuk apa, Syamimi? You gunakan untuk tripod tu untuk apa? Apa kan yang panjang-panjang tu nak pergi ambil gambar ya? Syasha kata tu different generation problem. Betul lah tu. Untuk YouTube channel Dicer, Syamimi is a YouTuber. Padahal I can give you the Shopee link. Ya Allah, Syamimi, kalau beli benda tu online sekarang, bukan saya tak mau buat benda tu kan. I was doing online benda-benda transaction semua kan. Okay, sekarang the people who are in my WhatsApp group, my generation of people, right? Sampai 3-4 kali dah, ya, credit card dia kena fraudulent payment, right? So kena pergi complain kat PayPal lah, complain kat bank lah, kan? Nasib baik yang setengah tu dapat balik, some of them got it back. Yang setengah tu, yang debit card tu semua kan hilang habis, what we call they stole your identity, kan? Hilang beribu-ribu ringgit, you know, they lost money. They lost money. They lost money. So, see, you thought that life is easy, right? So that I can just do it online. I don't have to go out anywhere. And then all these things occur. So, I don't know, right? Shopee lambat beli kedai je terus. Itulah, kalau nak pergi kedai ni, nampak gaya kena tarik. Kita kena bawa Syasha jugalah kot. Kalau kita orang berikan online, hantar straight tu ya. Tak mau lah Syasha macam tu. Kita pergi kat kedai, kita pergi je, kita bayar je. You dengar I, apa you cakap yang ini bagus, saya pendengar, okey, kita lanyak macam tu, bagus lah kot. Syamimi, I duduk dekat mana, saya boleh hantar kad. Syamimi, bukan yang itu. Saya nak guna kepakaran yang ada pada Syasha dan kepada Syamimi. Ya, kalau boleh saya pegang dua-dua, pegang dia orang kata handheld, jom pergi kedai. Lepas tu you cakap lah apa, ini beli yang ni guna macam ni, saya okey. Alright, Syamimi duduk kat balakong, okey. Alright, saya I nak tutorial depan-depan Mimi. Lebih kurang macam tu lah Syasha, kan? Okey. Aduh. Okey. So, yang itu dah beres. Nanti saya beres dengan apa tu lah dengan Syasha. Bila dia free ke apa, I need a tripod stand. So, item number 1, pergilah beli tripod stand ni. Pergi main boleh lah kot, Syasha kan? Tak apalah, saya cakap dengan you kan. Okay, tripod stand. Now, I assume the tripod stand senang lah sikit. Saya ada 2 tangan, boleh lah saya guna tangan buku apa ni kan. Tak payah nak sengit-sengit kepala dah lah semua kan. Betul? Alright. Okay. Kalau, Syasha, kalau apa tu Syamimi nak datang sekali pun tak apa. Tak ada masalah. Lepas tu kita minum kopi dekat apa, Coffee Bean or Starbucks kalau mana-mana ke. Aduh. Okay. Now assessment. Balik pada assessment tadi. Okay. Fazli, kalau saya lupa ke nanti ke tak jawab Fazli punya soalan, your question, make sure I don't go away. Right? Amy mana boleh, you duduk kat Kota Baru sana. Orang nak naik kapal terbang pun takut sekarang. Okay. Alright, my first reaction. Alright, my first reaction. Here is what I think. I am trying to canvas on all the what is possible, what is not possible. Alright, my first reaction is to ambil coursework je. Okay, and then ambil coursework, and then itu hari ada Fazli was asking me that test 2 when I first set it at 20% before the MCO, alright, it was closed book, and then coursework, assessment, homework, semua lah apa tu ada 20%, take home test 1 is 20%, then final was supposed to be 40%. Alright, so I think at that point in time, Fazli did ask me to reduce the percentage component of the closed book test 2 exam tu. I said I'll keep it open at that point in time. Alright, because you are too bothered. All of you are too bothered about getting an A. Alright, fine. I understand that. That was before the MCO. At the rate we are going now, I think everybody will get an A. Alright, no one can fail. I mean, how are you going to fail under these circumstances? Not in my class. I mean, let's look at some other class. Unless you don't turn up for class and then, you know, the lecturer wants the homework now and you're not there lah. You got only yourself to blame lah. What can I say? Kan? Yalah. Macam mana nak fail pun? You see, like today, if I say you give me the homework today and you have been given enough time, whatever I consider enough time, all right, and then you happen not to turn up for class today, or you happen to do the homework but you are not in the position to have it on PDF and to email me, and I know you nak email kan, tak boleh lah, email lah, apalah, your mobile internet not working lah, whatever lah, too bad lah, this is life. That's how you can fail. But otherwise, if you do everything, it is all in PDF, page by page you dah scan. I don't know whether you can scan or not. Itu pun satu hal ya. I don't know whether you can even print some of the things you want to print. Because for me now, I have to go to the shop now. Things which I never learned to do. Right? For example, I want to print my this attendance ni sekarang. Right? The last 2 columns there isn't anything there because I'm just putting all present. I don't care that, you know, online Zoom and Google Meet, right? So I have to print this now. Print it. Mana? I have to go to the shop. You guys are better off at that than me, right? If I want to print, I go to the office. I print using the photocopier, and then it does things to me. I can even scan it there. Now I don't have those same facilities, so I'm going to go to the shop. Now, why I'm saying to you this, those procedures which I learned pre-MCO dah macam jadi apa benda tu, dah jadi obsolete, dah jadi dinosaur, you know. So I have to learn new thing. Hafizi kata banyaknya buku ayat belakang tu, tak ayat belakang, depan pun. Hafizi tengok ni ya, tepi belah kanan saya. Nampak tak? Itu yang dia dalam plastik pun lagi. Tak sempat saya nak baca lagi. Itulah sebenarnya nak pencen dah Hafizi. Pencen nak baca buku. Anyway, orang kata ni cerita lain, dia sibuk nak pergi cerita lain. Ni ya Allah. Ni nak cerita kata apa tu, assessment ni. Kalau kita buat apa tu tadi, kita buat if we do. Abby, you're still around ya? if I say that kita buat, Syah, fokus, bukan cerita homework, tu cerita lain, ni cerita assessment dulu. Okay, hang on, Abby. Ini overall assessment. Take home test 1 kita dah buat. We have done take home test 1. Alright, that's remaining 20%. I haven't been able to grade it. Okay, I haven't been able to grade it because I haven't been able to access the official UPM website as far as I know. Masa when my Wi-Fi went down. Okay, now the other test 2 and coursework. Alright, just coursework 20%. You just do it, and then I say bila nak bagi, okay, get it ready, and then done, and then add up, jadi 20%. Like usual lah. Do the question 1 until question 10. I want today, right now, in 15 minutes, you send it to me. Alright, at this official email. Alright, cut off point 5 o'clock say, macam tu cakap. Alright, then send question number 5. Bye-bye. Then you do that. Then I proctor or grade it online. Okay. And then try to put the mark somewhere. Okay. And then average it out and then multiply by 20%. That's coursework. Alright. Macam biasa. Like normal. Alright. Now test 2. Test 2 you can have a test like all the other people do. Or you can I pick up from some of the questions I give you as coursework as part and parcel of test 2. You don't know which question, and I'm going to be strict on it, strict grading on it. So macam mana? Yes, pick up on it. Ni apa benda pick up on apa? I don't understand. Amy, what are you trying to say to me? Okay, Shakila, you're very quiet. How come? Tak mana dia pergi shopping dia kot. Pick the question from the question we discuss, IR. Pick the question from the question we discuss. I mean, I'm going to get, look, like today, earlier today, right? I sent homework to you, right? I gave you, I think, 4 questions from Craig and 1 question from my own set of notes, right? I believe so, which was question 14.8, if I recall, right? Now, I could say to you that question 8.1 is for homework. All right, I'll say to you question 8.1. I want question 8.1 and question 14.8. Okay, to be emailed to me by, right now it's 5:15, so I can say to you 5:30 in PDF file, okay, and to this email address. If you are not able to do it by 5:30, it is 5:31, say, then you get 0, all right? For whatever purpose, all right, you get 0. And then I said just now question 8.1 and question 14.8 in my head, all right, I'm saying to myself I'll do question 14.8 as part of a series of questions for test 2, right? And then question 8.1 which I picked is for homework. I will grade very strictly on question 14.8 and perhaps also 8.1, especially 8.1. Today I gave all sorts of instruction and clues, right? I said you cannot just do one solution. Which method is this? I gave all sorts of clues, and it's not my normal self. But just to remind you, right, this is how I have been teaching you. This is how you should do the problems, right? Solve the problem. Example 14.86, for example, right? That is the example where you see some of, you see 3 or 4 different methods being applied. All right, Craig just gave you one solution and does not even bother to explain to you which of those solutions that he was using, because he assumes you will know. Why does he assume that you would know? Because he assumed that you would have read the book, which not usually the case, is it? All right. Okay. So I would think that that is probably the way to go. Right? You don't have to like answer me today. You can discuss among yourself again, and then summarize it, and then perhaps relay it to Shakila or something. I hope he is still in here, right? Janganlah dia pergi memasak pula. Alright. Okay. Final exam. If it is not, do you guys know anything about final exam? I know nothing about it. Yesterday, Shakila was saying, not Shakila, Shasha was saying to me that no, she doesn't know anything about final exam. I don't know about final exam also. Well, you're still here, Shakila. How come? But you're so quiet, you don't say anything? Because representative tak boleh cakap banyak ya, nanti kena marah ya. You're supposed to just represent us, not to put words. I'm Fitra now, no. Dia apa benda yang no ni? Masih di sini. No sir. No. Abby, what is the no? The no towards what? Anissa, no sir. What is it? No towards what now? Shakila is here. Yeah. So Liana, no. I don't know what no now is. I'm Petra says no. There is no notice. Notice towards the final exam, you mean? Maira dah mengantuk. Tidur je lah. Anissa. About final exam, Anissa is saying to me about final exam. So you see, nobody is sure about the final exam just yet. All right, but like I said, the 1 or 2 of the lecturers has interpreted that they probably have to do the final exam, like you know it, and then final exam, but only that is going to be online. And then I recall that Shasha was saying to me that some people request that camera be facing you so that they can monitor you.
Saya tak request, tapi ada lecturer buat macam tu.
Bukan request, what I'm saying is that they practice like that.
Betul.
Kan? So I mean that is what is happening lah. So I don't know, guys, what is all this to me. Right? What I'm saying is that again, I'll go back to the orang kata bottom line argument. Right? The bottom line argument ni orang kata baseline lah. Kalau kata ABC C to D lah. Okay? Alright? The way I see it, as far as I'm concerned, alright? Tak buat exam, you nak dapat A pun, I give it to you. Under MCO ni. But, it's not going to be good for you. Alright? Maksudnya, because it's not I am belittling you, bukan peleceh you. Tapi maksudnya, right? Dah lah under MCO macam ni keadaan, belajar macam ni. Now, let me speak in Malay just to get my message across to you. Belajar dah lah macam ni kan. And then nak merapu cakap boleh buat kata exam close book lah apa open. it looks funny to me. Yeah. I can do that, Mira. Boleh bagi A semua orang. Tapi, orang kena percaya lah. Nak buat macam mana? Kan? Orang percayalah saya punya A tu, tapi tak tahulah dia punya, we have an ISO system. That's why those people, they insisted on having a camera in front, and then kata dia time-based exam, time-based question. All this time-based is because it's a form of quality control. Sebab kalau orang tanya besok kau, okay, I do this under the circumstances, what else can I do, kan? Itulah dia. Orang kena juga percaya. Ha. Orang tak percaya je. So, you see what I'm getting at? So, my feelings right now, yang when I say certain things, macam some question for take-home exam, some questions for test 2, and then I would put some conditions towards it, like I'm going to be strict, and then like I'm going to say, I don't care, you have to give it to me by 5 o'clock, you make it or you don't make it. That's it. I do that. You will then understand lah why I'm doing that. That's some sort of quality control. One that I think that is manageable. So when I give homework, say, right, you better do it in advance. Make sure that it's all ready to be sent. Make sure you attend on that day. Kalau tak datang apa benda semua, then I don't know what to say dah. Nak cakap macam mana lagi. Kan? So, at least for now, I'm thinking like that. I don't know whether this is the right thinking or not. Right? So, this is why I'm saying that you can still discuss with yourself about it and then get back to me lah, as soon as possible. Good. See, like for example, like today, right? I have 5 people absent. What am I going to do about it? You want me to put absent on these 5 people? Okay, I can make a roll call. Panggil seorang-seorang semua siapa yang absent ni, and then and then say absent. It's like, I don't know, I can look up and under this 52 ni who those people are, tick the attendance tu semua lah. Tapi betul buat benda-benda ni. Kan? So that's for now. How I'm thinking. Do you have any immediate reaction? Orang kata knee-jerk reaction. Kan? Sekarang ni respond about that. Until I further make it filter, let it filter in my brain. Tak ada. Viral reaction, wow. Para kata buat attendance, attendance tu tak tahu nak buat apa lah attendance. Boleh buat apa attendance, Syasha, yang attendance ni, kalau dia tak datang lagi saya minta buat tu, matilah dia. Tu je. IDK tu apa? I think so tu.
I don't know tu.
Okay, so lagi ada reaction sekarang. Aira wow je. Mira. Okay, so yang final exam I don't know. Yang attendance ni I think I just let go je lah. Nasib dia orang lah kan. Saya tak nak buat apa dah. Now I have 51 people. Tadi ada 53, now dah 51 dah. Siapa tu Syasha nak bincang? Nak bincang apa lagi? Oh, ni nak bincang pasal test tu dengan exam tu lah. Okay. Bolehlah bincang lagi, tapi tak bila nak bincang tak tahulah. Alright. Syamimi. Sisi kat Syamimi kata dia. yang Starbucks dekat Mile tu tak boleh duduk ramai-ramai. Kalau dia bagi 2 orang dia, tu yang saya pening tu. Kalau kat coffee bean dekat apa kenali dia tu, I tu dia ada yang table for 3 and 4 tu boleh juga lah kot. Starbucks level 3 boleh. Boleh apa 3 orang. Sesat. Kalau boleh lah kan. Okay. Boleh ikut. Main kod macam mana nak boleh. Sehari saya pergi satu orang dia bagi duduk. Right. Okay. Look, test, I think, and coursework, you are somewhat aware that I may be going along that line. Alright, so 20% for coursework, 20% for test 2. Test 2 is going to be any of those questions that I decide to be part of test 2. You don't know which one. So, you are very strongly advised to do all the questions very well, right? But tidak, then you lose the mark unnecessarily because you don't know the question and you don't know how strict I'm going to be. Okay? For now, I'm thinking along those lines. I don't know yet the answer is going to be along that way or not. All right? Because I have to gauge this possibility with also what the requirements of the faculty and the department is given these circumstances. They still have to comply to the ISO. They still have to, you have still to comply to your accreditation, right? Because nobody really knows what to do in truth. Okay. All right. So that's it lah. Yang final exam tu until nanti something certain lah. Kan? In the interim, I try to send whatever SOP there is there about the online tu punya assessment lah. Anything else that I need to talk to you about? Okay. Class, you all want now to go back on Tuesday, as I understand it from Shakila, right? Yes. Give me a reason, firstly. Abby, why? Just asking for it lah. Why? Aida, why? Aida Wu, why? I'm not asking you that. I'm asking you, you want class on Tuesday. Don't ask me about when I want it. Mira dia dah worried dah. At any rate, Mira, kalau if I ask for Tuesday pun, alright, what is your problem? Today is Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. 3 hari. Tak cukup. Tidur 8 jam ya. Okay. Abby says, just follow timetable. Amy says, hantar Jumaat. I'm not entertaining Amy because I'm talking about timetable. Right? Class. Weekend saya nak beraya. Beraya apa? Tak boleh dah beraya. Ada tak boleh melebihi 20 orang. Because on Friday we can do all the assignment given. What assignment? What Friday and all the assignment? You're given only 5 questions. Tuesday, just want to follow the timetable. Fine, Erin is talking, is focused now. Amy, dah lah. Syakila, raya kat mall, sir. Mana boleh pergi mall ramai-ramai dah? Aduh. Aida, you don't do all the homework only on Friday, is it? That's what they don't want you to do. They want you to continuously work 8 hours a day and then go to sleep or go and enjoy or whatever. Right? Work like normal people work. They want to do that like that. Alright. Raya kat mall, sir. Raya benda tak ada dah nowadays. Mana ada raya? Bukan raya je. Apa tu keamatan, gawai. Semua dah tak ada dah. We are busy with business, sir. That's a good answer, Shah. But you have to find the time to do business at other time. Amy kata hari Jumaat kat Kelantan cuti, sir. Agree with you, hari Jumaat kat Kelantan agree. Apa tu cuti? Having said that, Kelantan, you go to university, right? In Selangor, not in Kelantan. So how does that affect you? Macam-macam excuse. Aduh. So how, sir? Yeah, okay. Class on Tuesday. Next class will be when? Today, what's the date today? 4th. Is it the 4th today? Bengong lah mana dekat diary. I think it's the 4th today, right? Okay,
Hari ni
Erin cakap
fifth. 5.
5th. Oh, 5. Okay, Aida says 5. Okay, 5th. So 5 plus 7 the next Tuesday is, no, today is Friday kan. So Tuesday will be what? 9 June. Class. Right. Ain says 9. Okay, my next class with you inshallah 2 to 5 roughly speaking, right? Because I'm not able to control my time well these days, right? I don't want to give you an excuse, but the MCO is affecting me, right? Because my schedule is all gone whack now, right? Going crazy. Amy now still on the homework. So my next class is on the 9. I'm going to be nice to you all guys for the first and last time. Habis dah lepas ni, tak ada dah. Kalau minta juga benda-benda kan, dan minta juga benda-benda lepas ni dah tak dapat dah. Right? That is including maybe the test and all of that. Maybe I decide, kita bar close book je lah, nasib lah you. Okay? This is the first and last time. Alright. Homework is not on the 9th of June, but homework is the week after, 16th of June. How's that? Tu berlebih tak? Abby got it. Nice. Amy says nice. Okay. Right. So you better make darn sure that you do the question, all the answers in all the different ways. Because if you just do give me one solution only and listen to me carefully, right? Before you start typing some more and start saying thank you to me, right? Because I will not entertain any other excuse after that, right? Because even in my previous years, I'll tell you this, in my previous years, having me saying to my student, all right, for the umpteenth time, berpuluh kali cakap, make sure you give me all the solution if the data is available. They still don't do it. They just give me one solution. And then who is in trouble? Okay? Are we clear on that? Okay, Amy says okay. Abby says okay. Amy says, have it in PDF, have it ready the moment I say send it to me. All right? Okay? All right. Now, I will say to you also that I haven't been able to grade your test one. I haven't been able to grade your SI punya homework. All right? Because it was in the office. And then by the MCO, I could not go in. So I just managed to get it last week. All right? Hey, Rin, ni kelas 9 June at what time, dia kata. Ayah, Fazli dah jawab dah. I thought that was the standard time, betul kan? 2 to 5. I have forgotten about it. Okay. Alright. Shakila will remind me ke apa ke lah kan hari Tuesday tu. Sir, we got class today. Just in case I forgot. Right? So then class done, homework done, test and exam still debatable 50-50 kan, 50-50 for now I'm just thinking macam tu lah. And then class, will it be conducted on the phone? Probably yes. Kalau tak sempat nak beli tripod stand, maybe because I dah bengong sangat nak macam-macam nak buat kan. I haven't been able to get a tripod stand. I haven't been able to see Sasha or whatever. Then this is the way things are going to be lah. Whatever it is, too bad lah. Macam ni lah life. Amy kata, okay, I understand. Alright. So, I think I covered everything today. Ada lagi yang today I haven't covered? Yang you might want to ask me? How was today's lecture? Okay, boleh hidup lah kan, cukup lah. Apa yang termampu saya buat je. Para Sasha kata okay, Abby kata nice. Understood. Thank you, sir. No, today okay tak? Better than nothing, Imran kata. Not too bad lah, boleh lah Imran kan? Nak buat macam mana lagi? Saya pun dah tak tahu dah. Lecture today boleh? Boleh lah ya. I mean, we have to program macam ni lah, I think kan. Kalau tak, but because that Wi-Fi tu because of the internet kot, I don't know lah. Fazli kata boleh lah. I would have preferred to have face-to-face. Now you know why face-to-face is far more important. Betul tak Fazli? Itulah. Dia kita apa tu, kita kalau dah hilang nikmat tu baru kita sedar why benda tu lebih bagus kan. So nak buat macam mana? By the way, okay, ni saya tanya ni, on my modem tu dia ada macam that thumb drive, okay? Thumb drive tu is the Maxis punya modem tu kan, yang USB apa dipanggil 4G Lite ke apa tu kan. If I remove that, alright, if I remove that macam thumb drive tu, and I say I bring it along to what? To Starbucks kata, I can just stick it into my USB port. I can use that as my modem, isn't it?
Yang USB tu dia nak senang connectkan apa-apa wifi dekat laptop kalau laptop bermasalah dengan wifi. So boleh je bawa.
Okay, so tadi kan kalau macam tu apa tu Syasha, kalau macam tu I could have just took that and removed it from my modem and then replace this apa tu, this USB port ni yang wifi ni, and then things should be okay lah. Betul?
Sepatutnya lah.
Sepatutnya lah. Tapi yang sekarang yang menjadikan masalah kita tadi terputus tu sebab wifi kan?
Rasanya.
Rasanya sebab wifi, bukannya sebab that modem tu kalau kita bubuh thumb drive tu dekat dalam laptop kan?
Yes.
Sir. Sir.
Akmal Arman say probably. Fazli kata So that's why I think maybe kalau saya move saya punya komputer, the laptop towards that, right? It things should be okay.
Sir, have you tried connecting your phone with the Wi-Fi?
Have I tried connecting my phone?
Yes.
You mean the phone I'm holding right? My phone now to my Wi-Fi.
Yes.
Meaning, what do you mean by that, Arman? If you mean my Wi-Fi, okay, I have apa tu dipanggil the password and all of that, right?
Yeah.
The password, okay. I press on my mobile data, then I press the Wi-Fi, and then I stick in my password, and then I should be on my Wi-Fi by using the phone. Is that what you mean?
Yes.
Okay. Actually, I haven't on that one.
So if we want to figure out if the Wi-Fi is a problem, we should try connecting your phone to the Wi-Fi. If it's still not working, that means the Wi-Fi is the problem. If not, that means your laptop is not really good. It has a very small bandwidth, so you can't really use the internet on your laptop.
I cannot use the internet on the laptop.
Yeah.
You cannot using the internet on the laptop, meaning I cannot use apa tu?
You cannot use wireless or using the LAN cable to connect to your laptop.
LAN cable. Kalau LAN cable tu I just itulah tadi kan Arman, I was saying tadi, if I go back to the modem, I take the cable, I hook it up, should be okay tak? So I didn't get a response. Kan? I can go to the modem now. I can hook up the LAN cable to the modem and to my USB port. But that is also a Wi-Fi, isn't it? Or is it like because my whole house right now is a Wi-Fi, isn't it?
Yeah. But right now, no, because the modem is the one that provides the let's say the internet to your house. But the dongle thingy, the one the USB stick into your modem, yeah, that one that provides the internet to your house. But the let's say the router is the thing that gives off the Wi-Fi, the wireless network to your devices.
Correct, Arman. You took the
Yeah.
words from my mouth because now you are explaining to me very well. I would have liked to explain like that, but those terms wouldn't come up on my mouth right now. So, okay, the dongle would be, if I take out the dongle, that would give me a modem. That, if I stick it into my laptop, it should be more stable than, say, the router now giving off this Wi-Fi,
Should be.
right?
Yeah.
Should be kan.
Yes.
So I think maybe I will try that the next time lah kot. Next time, because initially I wanted to just either use the dongle or just hook up the LAN cable to the modem, dia ada kat belakang tu kan, and then I just give the courses, but then I would be sitting in the lounge lah, not sitting at where I'm sitting right now in the study. So I thought, all my things are here, so I'll just try the Wi-Fi, see. But then I realized I have some issues with it lah. So okay, I'm done with that, and then worst comes to worst, go back to the phone je lah kan. Only the phone ni I must make sure I have enough mobile data je lah. Kan? Kan, man?
Yeah.
Yeah, itulah. Okay. All right. So have I covered everything with you? Anything else? So only test and exam we still unsure lah. That is because I'm unsure lah. Kira kata sedapnya suara Arman. Memang suara Arman suara apa ni? DJ. Anything else? Tak ada. Putri dia no. Shakila, have I covered everything that I am supposed to cover? Okay. If I forget or if you remember, right, then you just WhatsApp me lah. All right. Anissa, Nosa, Shakila. By the way, guys, in about 6 or 7 weeks, right, inclusive of also the final exam, kan, I'll be finishing with you, and then I won't be seeing you anymore, lah dah. So this is like weird, when I was thinking about it. One day it took me my brain, took over my brain. I said, gee, this is weird, So anyway, but then you will be in your 4th year, which is next year. You probably dah balik ko UPM if everything turns out well, and then you still have your what the hell do we call it, the party tu, kan? You still have that final year sending off graduation party, or is that no longer celebrated? Because I think the current final year dah tak buat dah kan, dah tak boleh buat dah. Yeah, that's it. Like Irman is saying, Syarman is saying cannot do. Dah tak boleh dah. Itulah. Syasha patut tahu dah cakap. They postpone the convocation day. Yang itu bukan convocation day ya. Yang convocation tu satu hal dah. Yang ini yang selalu yang dekat faculty, you selalu buat dekat some hotel or whatever lah kan. And then you request all your lecturers to turn up if they can kan. Dinner RPZ. 3rd year kena buat untuk the 4th year. Dinner final year. Betul, Erin. Sekarang dah tak boleh buat lah kan. Dah cancel. Syariman kata cancel. Betul lah. Dah tak ada. Aduh, dinner online je. Boleh ke Arman? Dinner online je, Akmal. Boleh ke dinner online ni? Razif pun kata dinner online. Aduh, tak apalah. Nantilah kita tengoklah tahun depan. Kalau tak dijumpa pun lain cerita lah juga kan. Dah nak buat macam mana kan hidup kita macam ni. Anyway, Abby, guys, alright. I think it's time for us to go away. If I'll see you, inshallah, hopefully, right, God willing, next Tuesday, 2 to 5, continuing from where I stopped today, which is like, I think, page 3, right? Consolidation analysis. And then we move on from there. We take it one day at a time. Amy, Muaz tak datang ni, bagi tahu ke Muaz, right? He or whoever that are absent, tell them better not be absent, because the day you are absent, it may well be that IR Azlan requests for his homework, and then you will be in trouble. Okay? All right. Try to explain to those people yang do not attend why it is important to attend. It could be that you attend the last 5 minutes where I request for the homework, right? But that's very important, okay? All right. Bye, guys. Thank you for all the attention. Sorry, this is the way that things are.
Bye-bye. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Bye.
Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam.